Welcome. So in the last session, we have seen about archaeobacteria. So in the session, we'll see about eubacteria. So here, eubacteria, okay, who have peptidoglycan in their cell walls are actually classified into two, okay, categories: autotrophic bacteria and okay, heterotrophic bacteria. Autotrophic and heterotrophic bacteria. And coming to the autotrophic bacteria, it's further classified into two more categories depending on the source of light. So one, it is called photoautotropic bacteria, and then chemoautotropic chemoautotropic bacteria, right? So you can call this as if, okay, chemosynthetic. Okay, so this is photosynthetic bacteria, you can call it photosynthetic bacteria, and this you can call it chemosynthetic bacteria. Okay, so here the source of energy is light, so usually that is sunlight, and in this case the source of energy is, okay, chemicals. The oxidation of some chemicals can result in a release of energy that will be used in the synthesis of carbohydrates. So we'll see first photoautotropic bacteria, and then chemoautotropic, and then we'll see about heterotrophic bacteria. So first we'll see about photosynthetic autotrophic bacteria. Okay, so coming to this photosynthetic autotrophic bacteria, so this one, okay, it mainly includes cyanobacteria. So it includes cyanobacteria. So these cyanobacteria are commonly called blue-green algae. So it's commonly called blue-green algae. So BGA, that stands in short. So that stands for blue-green algae. Okay, right. And this blue-green algae, that is cyanobacteria, so it has chlorophyll A. It has chlorophyll A molecule. So this chlorophyll A molecule is similar to the molecule present in higher plants, of course, like in case of algae. So because of that, earlier authors have placed this cyanobacteria under algae, but later they came to know they are not algae, they are bacteria, and they have been separated from the plants and then kept under kingdom Monida. So it has chlorophyll A, and it's a photosynthetic pigment. So it's a photosynthetic pigment which helps in trapping the energy from the sunlight and helps in the process of photosynthesis. Okay, now these cyanobacteria are, so these are unicellular. So the whole body may be made up of only one cell, unicellular. Okay, or in some case they are colonial, or we may even see some are filamentous. Okay, we know colonial, which means, okay, in colony. So they are present in a colony. Many unicellular cells may all gather, and then you may see, so in this way. So this is a colony here. Unicellular, which means only one every cell lives independently. So you can see here all these are not in colony, so they are all present separately, but here you will see all living together in a colony. And in case of a filamentous form, you may see the cells are arranged one to one like a chain. Okay, so this is like a chain, so it's called the filamentous form. Then uh, where we see the habitat means where we see the cyanobacteria living, they are found in fresh waters, found in fresh waters, that is rivers, lakes, ponds. Okay, and they are also seen in marine waters, also in, okay, marine waters, and okay, right, and also terrestrially, so which means on land. So terrestrially means on land also we see the cyanobacteria present. So in fresh waters, in marine waters, and also on land they are present. And here coming to the colonies, so usually, so these colonies are surrounded by a gelatinous sheath. The colonies are surrounded by gelatinous sheath. So you can see here, we'll see in case of a example nostoc. So here nostoc. Okay, so here I have taken an example of nostoc, and this is actually surrounded by a gelatinous sheath. So this gelatinous sheath actually holds water, and okay, so that actually helps in or helps in preventing the desiccation, means getting dried. So it always holds the water and keeps in the wet conditions. So this is the gelatinous sheath present on, okay, the cells. Okay, so this is we can call it a mucilaginous sheath. So it's called a, right, mucilaginous sheath. A gelatinous sheath is present. And then okay, so they also have some special nitrogen fixing cells within them. So here, okay, are these cells, so that are capable of fixing nitrogen. Okay, so these are called heterocysts. So heterocyst. So heterocyst is a cell that is capable of fixing atmospheric nitrogen. Capable of fixing atmospheric nitrogen. And these organisms, okay, for example the nostoc, they can form, okay, blooms in polluted water bodies. So they can form blooms in polluted water bodies. So if you find the water bodies are polluted with nitrates and phosphates, or so those are nutrients actually for the growth of such kind of bacteria, that is cyanobacteria, and the number grows very high, so that results in the formation of something called blooms. So here which I have drawn is the nostoc, which is a filamentous form. Okay, then Heterocysts, of course, they are not present in all members of cyanobacteria. They are present only in few members. Like here, I have shown in nostoc, heterocyst is present, and also in anabina. So nostoc, anabina. So where we see presence of heterocyst is present. Heterocyst is present. And we know that these photosynthetic autotrophic bacteria, they perform photosynthesis. They perform photosynthesis and they release oxygen as byproduct. So they release oxygen as byproduct. So in we know in evolution what happened. So when these organisms evolved, of course, before that the earth was reducing, so it has a lot of hydrogen, okay, and other gases, so reducing. Atmosphere is present, okay, in the earth's atmosphere. Now, due to evolution of these cyanobacteria, where they started performing photosynthesis and started releasing oxygen. Earlier photosynthesis also we see, but those are called anoxygenic photosynthesis. So anoxygenic photosynthesis, which means they don't produce oxygen. So they don't produce oxygen. Later, this evolution of cyanobacteria, where we see oxygenic photosynthesis. So this is actually called oxygenic photosynthesis. It's called oxygenic photosynthesis because it is releasing oxygen, right? And this has resulted in conversion of that reducing atmosphere into oxidizing atmosphere in course of time. Of course, it took millions and millions of years. Okay, so that is about the photosynthetic autotrophic bacteria. So here some examples we'll see under this autotrophic bacteria. Already we have seen nostoc, anabina, and some other examples like oscillatoria. Okay, so these are also examples, the nostoc and anabina, oscillatoria, and we also see about spirulina. So this is edible. So this one is edible, so means the spirulina is eaten by human beings. Okay, next we'll see about the chemosynthetic autotrophic bacteria. So chemosynthetic autotrophic bacteria. Okay, so here in case of chemosynthetic autotrophic bacteria, so these bacteria oxidize various inorganic, right, substances. So they oxidize various inorganic substances. Okay, so what are those inorganic substances? Like we can consider, okay, the right nitrites. Okay, so the nitrites, these are nitrites, and even nitrates. So nitrates and even ammonia also we can consider, okay, ammonia and many etc. Inorganic substances. So they oxidize these inorganic substances, and okay, so the energy released during the oxidation of these substances, okay, so energy released during oxidation of above substances is used to generate ATP molecules. So we know the source of energy in any living system is ATP. So while they oxidize these substances, okay, energy is released, and that energy is trapped and stored in the form of ATP molecules. Like for example, here we'll see hydrogen sulfide chemosynthesis. Sulfide chemosynthesis, an example we'll see. Okay, so 12H2S, that is hydrogen sulfide. Okay, then okay, 6 CO2 we can consider here, and this results in formation of C6H12O6. So that's the glucose formation here, and then okay, 6H2O is a byproduct that is released here, and then lastly the 12S. Okay, so this is the glucose synthesized. Okay, so hydrogen sulfide chemosynthesis, where they synthesize the food materials. Okay, so we'll see some examples of this chemosynthetic autotrophic bacteria. So this one includes it includes okay, desulfuromonas. Okay, example, so desulfuromonas. So this desulfuromonas is a okay, sulfur reducing bacteria. So this is sulfur reducing bacteria. So this is a sulfur reducing bacteria, right? And we also have Pseudomonas, Salmonella, right, or some other examples. Okay, so here the Pseudomonas, now they have genetically modified, and it's been used in cleaning oil spills in oceans. Okay, so that is actually Pseudomonas putida, is its a complete scientific name. So where that has been biogenetically modified and is being used in cleaning the oil spills in oceans. Okay, right, so that's about the chemosynthetic autotrophic bacteria. The next one we shall see about heterotrophic bacteria. The next one are heterotrophic bacteria. So coming to these heterotrophic bacteria, so these are most abundant in nature. So when compared with other types of bacteria, I mean, of course, there is autotrophic bacteria. When compared with the heterotrophic bacteria are most abundant, and among them the majority are decomposers, so who help in okay, converting the organic matter into inorganic okay, materials or substances. So now humans are also using some of these heterotrophic bacteria in preparation of right, curd, okay, and then production of antibiotics. So here humans are using these bacteria, so some of these bacteria, okay, in making curd, then production of antibiotics, Okay, there are certain kind of fungi and also bacteria who produce antibiotics. Okay, so and they also help in, okay, fixing atmospheric nitrogen. Okay, in fixing atmospheric nitrogen in legume plants, okay. So that's some, useful bacteria from this group, that is heterotrophic bacteria. Now some are, okay, parasitic. So some are parasitic, and these who are, okay, parasitic can cause different diseases in plants and animals. Okay, so some are, okay, parasitic, and of course they cause diseases in plants, animals, etc. Okay, so they cause various types of diseases here. Okay, then in case of course, humans, so animals and humans also we will include. Okay, so in humans there are lot many diseases caused by these heterotrophic bacteria, especially those bacteria that cause these diseases are called pathogenic bacteria. And in humans these caused, tetanus, then cholera, then typhoid, etc. So are different diseases that are caused by bacteria in case of human beings. Okay, and in case of plants we can see citrus canker in plants, in citrus plants actually. So that is citrus plants. So that is lemon, oranges, all they come under. Okay, so this citrus group. So citrus canker is caused by bacteria in, okay, citrus plants. Then one kind of this heterotrophic bacteria are, okay, mycoplasmas. So mycoplasmas. So these are, okay, cell wall less, so they don't have cell wall. So the mycoplasmas are where the cell wall is absent. So the only group of bacteria that don't have cell wall, so they are all called the mycoplasmas. Okay, and these mycoplasmas are the smallest living cells. Okay, so mycoplasmas are smallest living cells. So they are smallest living cells, and they don't have cell wall, and they can live in the absence of oxygen also. So live in, okay, live in absence of oxygen, and they cause several diseases in plants and animals. So they cause diseases in plants and animals. So okay, different diseases they are caused. Okay, so here the mycoplasmas are covered by only the cell membrane. So only cell membrane is present. Okay, and it's of course there is no nucleus. Okay, this is its genome. Okay, and as it is covered by only the plasma membrane, so it can have a lot of plasticity, and because of that it will attain different shapes. okay, that will range from spheres to branching filaments. Now I will see an example for this mycoplasma. So an example is Mycoplasma pneumoniae. So Mycoplasma pneumoniae is an example. So this one causes actually atypical pneumonia in humans. So it causes atypical pneumonia in humans. Causes atypical pneumonia in humans. Okay, and the others are like the urea plasma. So and another example, urea plasma, and then pyroplasma are some examples of these mycoplasmas. Okay, so some regard these mycoplasmas as pleuropneumonia like organisms. Okay, and some they will treat it as separate. Okay, so the pleuropneumonia like organisms, PPLOs. So this stands for pleuropneumonia like organisms. Okay, so here this urea plasma, it requires urea for growth. So this requires urea for growth. And in case of spiroplasma, so this is the causative agent for, okay, causing diseases in citrus and other plants. So it cause diseases or disease in citrus plants and even other plants also we will see. So that's small information on heterotrophic bacteria. Right, so with this, I will end today's session. So in the next session, we'll see about kingdom Protista. So there are some additional diagrams that they have been included in new textbook. So we'll see about those things, the slide mounts, okay, and even the dinoflagellates are so two extra diagrams that they have included in the new textbook. Okay. So in the next session, we'll see about kingdom Protista. This is all about kingdom Munira.